How many people did work on flight control and how long did it take?
Flight control started off as Rob had a week off by himself because his wife was away. So he spent a week just programming at home, and he came back in the office with a demo that was, at the time it didn't have any art, it was programmer art with, it was a vector style look. It was as if it was a real, looking screen. And he was thinking about different release stuff. And then our art director saw it and thought, this looks pretty cool, I'll do some art, some mock-ups, got those in there. And then it was about 4 or 5 weekends after that. But we're talking about veterans working on it. So they work a bit faster and their time is a bit, they don't have much time. So yeah, hard to tell. I think the estimates are somewhere between $1,500,000 including marketing and how much it costs to make. So it was fast, but we've done updates since that have more maps and we've got online leaderboards and all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit hard to sort of read it out because it's just, and that's one thing about iPhone is updates. I don't know how you guys are going, but all new and fun for us developers.
Apple don't like it.
We had one fail just yesterday, so.
Apple don't. There was another question.
Yeah, I was really interested in the pricing, how much of a barrier like a high price actually is. So like I noticed it's like control is $2. But if it was a $2, that's probably a still in savings or.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell. We've gone really wide. I mean, we have received a large number of emails of people buying an iPhone to play the game. So that's not a $1 game. So it's just so broad. People have said they would pay more, but we've got the wide market. If it had been too, we just don't know how many people. We see people ourselves. We've never seen it before playing our game all over the place, and you wouldn't have got that spread. And it's word of mouth, and like saying Twitter marketing, etc. That these people are talking about our game. And one of the weird phenomena that we've seen is that when you do an update, you get more sales. I haven't quite worked out how that works. We think that it's because you get an update, you play it again, and then you talk about it. So people talking about their iPhone. It's a community thing where people are. So getting it into people's hands at 99 cents means they'll tell someone it's good. But having said that, our wheel racing game is, because it was such a narrow, we knew it was a narrow market, so we're keeping it at $10 US because we're not going to get 1 million sales ever. So if we did sell it at $1, we're only going to get a small number of sales. So that was our pricing policy on it, and it's still at 10 and selling okay. It was never going to be number 1 like 3 and $10. But it's selling well, and that was I think Rob said it's around about $1 million game to make, and it looks like it's going to make money. So at $10, it's still, so it all kind of works out. It's not the runaway success and profit, it's like control.
So just a
speaking of the way the App Store functions and how Apple are bringing in an approval process, what would you guys like to see ideally, especially compared to, say, the traditional approval process for consoles or for mobile distributors?
I think the good things about the approval process with Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo is I know a lot of developers probably disagree with me, but it is the standardization of the usual sort of Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo stuff. So it helps to make brands and device related items instantly recognizable. That's kind of a big question of how we would like those guys to change or what we would like to see in them. I mean, off the top of my head, I couldn't really sort of give you a distinct answer on that, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I think developers independently would like changed. There's a lot of things that publishers would like changed. But you know, and I think Apple are going in this direction. At the end of the day, it is their device, and it's their IP, their license that they're protecting. So really, it is fair enough.
I think Apple have been quite inconsistent so far with what they allow in, what they don't. But you know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt for now because they are quite new to the market. So.
Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
transparency.
Yeah.
It's a black box, and that can be hard on you. Like you're saying, you're often rejected, and that hasn't happened to us. But generally, the feedback about why that happens is not. I don't know if they're improving there.
Well, we had ours rejected, and it was all to do with our online scoring that we had. So it's actually not our code that's being rejected. So we've had to get in touch with the guys that do the online stuff and wait for them to get back to us. But what I don't get is that there's other games out there that are using the same online scoring system, yet they haven't been rejected. It just happens to be a little bit hit and miss what sort of gets through and what doesn't.
Yeah. So I think, as Nick says, and I think we've also they are quite young. So I think you know, they've got a lot to learn, and until they start getting to the same level as Sony and PS and Nintendo and Microsoft with their approvals processes and their TRCs and all this sort of stuff, I think it might be a little bit churlish to start criticising the way that they do stuff.
Yeah, they're doing it differently, and that's why they're so
Yeah.
big. I mean, that's pretty great.
I think. Sorry, one more question. I think it's a check in the middle.
What will you consider the minimum specs for, I have a Windows PC at the moment and I have an iPhone and I want to get to iPhone development, but I have to get a Mac.
Yeah.
What do you consider sort of the minimum specs for me to be able to get into?
A Mac Mini works fine.
We buy the cheapest Mac Mini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is a MacBook Pro, 13-inch. I think it's like a dual core, 2.6 or something.
Yeah.
And that, I would say, is pretty top of the line if someone went out and bought this, you'd be laughing to do iPhone development.
Okay.
Yeah. I reckon you'd probably end up, you'd want to spend maybe $1,000
Yeah.
to buy a Mac to start working on it.
We buy the little Mac Minis and then just have a switch between the keyboard and monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a quick one. So yeah, one more question.
Yeah, just a question from the thoughts on updates, so things like adding on online leaderboards, things like that. At what point do you hold back the release of the game to get all those features in compared to getting the game out there and then adding those features retroactively to the actual delivery?
As I said, Apple are not that keen on updates. They don't like it happening. But really, it's your decision from gameplay. How much gameplay experience do you think having an online leaderboard would add to your game? If you think it's going to be fairly incremental, then yeah, I'd get it out there and include that in a nice big, add it to a big DLC pack or a big update later on down the line. If you think that it's going to be integral to the gameplay experience, like a racing game, for example, online leaderboards and having a multiplayer is fairly integral to the gameplay, then I would delay the game, get it in there, make sure it's working. If you're working for a publisher, then it's their call. You know, they'll say no, you wait, or yes, you get it out. I mean,
Why, you're saying updates, Apple don't like updates. Do you mean from the perspective of, because it will just release something buggy then update, or do you mean content updates?
no, buggy in an update. Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah. So,
They're not like it because it means that they're not being able to say, well, if you extend the gameplay, you can make that a second game, which they don't do.
yeah, so my opinion on their Apple and apps, I think they just want, like, they've got a free section. They don't care about sales numbers of money. I don't think so much. They care about the iPhone experience being the best out of anyone anywhere.
Yeah.
They've got 50,000 apps in there, no one else has, and you can get apps for whatever you want, and that makes iPhone better than any other device. I don't think they're concerned about the revenue of it. I think it's key, but I don't think it's their primary motivation.
Yeah, I mean, I think something to remember is people will always talk about bad stuff, bad experiences, bad things happening, get a lot more exposure than good experiences. So if you release a game and it's buggy and crap and someone has bad experiences, a bit of bad experience, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but you know, they're more likely to sell 100 people than if they have good experience.
If you're a better encoder, I think just try and make it the best it can be, as polished as possible before you run out of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Updates are a good way to, if you're not sure it's going to be the best game, if you're not sure it's going to sell that well, if it's a good little game and you can add levels later, get it out there and see if people like it, and then you can add levels. We added levels of flight control because it's doing so well. And when we did, it went up in the charts again. It went back to #1 because we released that extra content because people started talking about it, started talking about how good value it was again. So it worked for us to not have all the content in there at the start and help sales and release the album.
I think we have to leave it there. Sorry, guys, it's getting a bit late.